You are listening to the Life Coach Business Podcast with Amanda Carlstad, episode number 105. Welcome to the Life Coach Business Podcast, a show for coaches who are ready to up-level their business and take their impact, leadership, and results to a whole new level. If you're ready to start taking powerful action and become the leader your business needs in order to grow and thrive, this show is for you. I'm your host, Amanda Carlstad, certified life and business coach and entrepreneurial leadership expert. Now let's get down to business. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to today's show. I hope you are healthy and well, and wherever you are tuning in from, that you're enjoying the weather, the season. For me, it is fall and it has been beautiful fall weather here. It has been unseasonably warm and the colors are just gorgeous. We're not quite at the peak yet, but we're getting there, and it's truly one of my favorite times of the year. So I hope you've had an amazing week. And again, I'm so glad that you're here tuning in. I am excited about today's show. It's a topic that I'm really excited to bring to you today. But before we dive in, I want to just remind you all. So for those of you who are listening to this podcast and you are ready to play an even bigger game in your business, if you are looking ahead, thinking about 2022, and you are ready for a breakthrough year, I have a very special invitation for you. So if you're a coach and you are looking to either build to your first 100,000, so your first six figures in the most accelerated way, or if you are a more established coach, so you have a program that you already offer and you're generating consistent revenue in your business, but you're ready to go to that next level and you're ready to either scale that program or possibly even launch a new program, then I have a very special invitation for you. I'm going to be working with a select group of clients starting very soon in my mastermind program, which is my business accelerator program for coaches who are ready to build to their first 100,000 in the most accelerated way. And I'm also opening up spots in my high-level mastermind for established coaches who are ready to scale. So whether that's making their first 250,000, 500,000, even $1 million. And we will be going deep into your business, into your particular strategy, into your business model, into your programs, into your marketing, into all of the things that are necessary in order for you to take things to the next level. And a big part of my work and in my approach is not only the strategy side of things, but also in who you are being, in really building your identity as the leader, as the coach that can create those levels of results. So every client that I work with does receive a personal, customized business strategy that we focus on, that's based on their goals, based on where they're at in their business, based on their strengths. And it's really looking at the next 6 to 12 months and how we can achieve that in the next 6 to 12 months so that, I got to be honest with you all, so that you're not wasting your time. So many clients come to me after spending so much time doing things in their business and focusing on things in their business and just not having real clarity when it comes to what they should actually be doing in their business, that the truth of the matter is I see so often that there's so much time and money, quite honestly, and your energy that is being spent in places that really aren't even moving the needle. And so one of the things that I'm really proud about in the programs that I offer is that I'm focused on results. I'm focused on helping my clients get tangible results. And because of that, I've really distilled my process down. I've really distilled my programs down in a way that it really focuses on the most important business principles that you need in order to really set the foundation, in order to really make that scale happen. So a big part of the work that we do is, yes, of course, again, it's the strategy, it's the tangible, it's the marketing, it's all of those things. But it's also, like I said, as important that we're working on your mindset, that we're working on those inner shifts that need to be made. And so a big part of this work is making those internal shifts. And I will tell you that for the clients that have really made tremendous strides in terms of, literally taking their business from 0 to 100 in 6, 12 months, it's really the becoming, it's really making those big internal shifts and pairing that with very solid, smart, intelligent business strategy. And that's exactly what we do. So I don't say this lightly, but the work we do in these programs is literally $1 million work. And so I want to invite you, if you are all in on your business, if you are ready to start playing a much bigger game and really start stepping into this next level, if you're truly ready to take things to that next level and you need more support, you need expert support, you are done wasting your time on things that aren't moving the needle in your business, and you want customized support, high level support, that means one-on-one and also group support, then I want to invite you to join us, because what you do right now will impact the level of success that you experience in 2022. It will impact whether or not you start the new year with momentum. So I want to invite you, if this sounds like you, go to amandakarlstedcoaching.com, set up a call. You're going to be prompted to also fill out a short application because my programs are also by application. So I'd love for you to set up that call and for me to talk to you about what I see is possible for you in your business in the next 6 to 12 months and really put a game plan together for us to achieve that. So again, go to amandakarlstedcoaching.com. I recommend you do that as soon as possible because there are limited spaces available because of the very high level of support that I offer. So I want to make sure that if this is something that you are truly looking to do, then I want you to take that next step and do that. I can't wait to help you fully step into who you're meant to be in this next year and make the huge impact in the way that you're already being called to do, and make the level of revenue that you already know that you're capable of and go well beyond that. I can't wait to see what's possible for you. All right, let's dive into today's show, shall we? So I was thinking about my clients and all of you in particular over the last few days. It's one of the things that I do consistently is I'm always thinking about my clients and I'm always thinking about their businesses and all of the things that I see that's possible for them, all of the ways that I can help them grow and scale their business in a really sustainable and in a really successful way. And ultimately create their dream business, create the business that allows them the flexibility, that allows them the freedom, that creates the level of revenue and makes the impact that they want to make. And so I was thinking recently as I was out on a walk, I was thinking about my clients and I was thinking about all of you who listen to this show. And I started thinking about today's topic and how really important it is that despite what the circumstances are in your business, despite what your current level of results are, how important it is that you're continually working to cultivate your belief, that you're constantly working to cultivate a higher and higher level of belief in yourself as an entrepreneur. So this has been something that I have been observing and working with some of the clients, especially in my high-level mastermind and also for one of my groups in my mastermind program, where when I look at really the difference, the consistent differences between clients that are able to create really huge levels of success, that really are able to make those quantum leaps in their business, it truly does come down to this. It comes down to their belief and having a level of belief that is unconditional and working to cultivate that, working to cultivate their capacity about their ability to create the result that they want to create. So I want to do a deep dive into this today. And, I did a podcast on this very early on. This was one of the first podcasts that I launched. It was called Unconditional Belief. It's a great episode. I highly recommend you go back to that. But I want to talk through this today from the lens of where you're likely at today. And again, just take a deep dive into this and talk about what it really means and what it really takes to develop and to cultivate a level of unconditional belief in your business. So I want to start out by saying that right now, for all of you listening, wherever you are in your business, whatever results that you have, whether you're happy with those results or whether you're not happy with the results that you have right now, the truth is that the experience that you're having right now, those results, is the result of decisions, is the result of your thinking leading up to today, right? It's the effect of your belief system. It's the effect of your thoughts. It's the decisions that you have made to this point that has created your present experience. So I want you to think about the fact that there was a version of you that created that result, okay? So even if you look back just for math sake, if you look back at, let's just say a year ago, right? In 12 months ago, there was a certain version of you that you were operating from, right? So you from a year ago were operating from a certain vision that you had, right? A certain vision for your business. You had a certain belief system and certain thoughts about your business, and maybe even certain thoughts about clients. You had certain thoughts about your program, all of the parts of your business. And based on what those thoughts and those belief systems were and the decisions that you made as a result of those, you took action in certain ways in your business, right? Or maybe you didn't take certain action in your business. So either that has served you, or for some of you, maybe it hasn't served you as well as you'd hoped, okay? So you might be in a position right now where maybe you're not exactly where you want to be in your business, right? And so what I want you to really think about here is that result, right, the experience that you're having right now is the effect of that past version of yourself, right? It's the before version of yourself, okay? So if you consider that and you consider the decisions, again, that you made that then drove the actions that you took, you can really see how that's clearly played out for you over the last 12 months, okay? And so again, for some of you, that might be a great thing. For others of you, maybe it's not as great of a thing. So think for a moment of that version of yourself and what those specific belief systems were for you and what those specific actions were that you took. And I actually recommend that you write this down, even if you need to pause the episode and just write those down. I think this is a really, really important exercise for you. And so when you look at what those belief systems were, when you look at the actions that you took and you look at the results that you're experiencing today, what's so interesting about this process of building a business is that in so many ways, we have to hold that past version of ourselves, right? We always want to look to our past and we tend to make decisions and we think from our past in so many instances. But the truth is that was just a past version of ourselves, right? So in a way, I want you to almost just be the observer here and really get clear about what has really led you to where you are today and what has really created the results that you're experiencing today. Now, after you've done that, I want you to think about then what your goals are in these next 12 months, right? So for some of you, I know that might be building your business to multiple 6 figures or maybe even 7 figures. For some of you, it might be building to your first 100,000. Whatever that number is, right? Whatever that level is, I want you to consider the result of that. And I want you to consider what are the belief systems, what are the thoughts, what are the actions, what are the decisions that are going to be required to create those levels of results. Okay. And so the truth is that is going to require a different version of you. For some of you, that might be more fully stepping into that version, right? For others of you, it might require that you actually change quite a bit of what you're thinking about and what you're doing and the decisions that you're making. So if you want to build a 7-figure business, and let's say that maybe hit your first 100,000, but you want to take it to $1 million, then that's going to require a different version of yourself, right? It just is. So when you think about the goal and you think about where it is that you want to go, we have to be really clear about what are the belief systems and the thoughts of that version of you that is actually going to create that, right? And that's really what we call our after version, right? That has created those results. And so what I want you to do is really look at that before version and look at what has that version of you been that has created your current results, but also consider that future version, that after version, that version of you that has successfully created the level of results that you want. So maybe you're at a place where you want to create your first million, or maybe it's your first 500,000, right? Maybe it's your first 100,000. Whatever that result is that you want to create, I want you to think through, what is that version of you thinking? What is that version of you believing about your ability to create those results? What is that version of you deciding? What types of decisions are you making on a daily basis? How are you showing up at that level? What is that version of you feeling on a daily basis, right? Think about what you're creating. Think about the difference between where you're at today and who you've been versus, again, taking things to that next level, right? And so, again, what's so interesting is that when we're in this process, it's really vital that we're able to hold both of these versions of ourselves at the same time. And what I mean by that is we all have before versions of ourselves. We all have after versions of ourselves. And in order to create that after result, the result that we want, we have to be able to stretch ourselves. We have to be able to step into that next evolution of ourselves and not base everything on that before version, right? So that next version of you that has the capacity to create those levels of results is something I really, really encourage you all to think about. Because the truth is that the most important part of you being able to achieve that next goal, again, whether that's 100,000, whether that's 500,000, whether that's 1,000,000, it's you being able to identify as the person who completes that goal, who achieves that goal. So it's really about building your self-concept, building your identity around who that person is and stepping more fully into that identity each and every day. So being the person who believes so strongly and unconditionally in the achievement of that goal is the most important part. So your commitment to being able to believe in the possibility, to believe that you are able in your capacity to create that level of business is actually way more important than the achievement of it. And the reason for that is because that's the only way to achieve it. That is truly the pathway in order to create those levels of results. It has to come from the belief that you are capable of doing it, that you are capable of creating that level of result. And so it's been really interesting. I've been thinking a lot about this because part of my coaching philosophy, part of my approach that I take with all of my clients is, yes, while we do focus on the actual strategy and the how piece of building and scaling a business, but there's also the inner work that needs to be done, right? It's really being able to approach this deep level mindset work on a consistent basis. And so what happens really often on this journey that I see is that sometimes we become very attached to how something may need to work. we have an idea or we see examples and we start to create similar things in our business, right? That we see maybe working for someone else. And we start to implement similar things in our business. And what can happen sometimes is when we launch things or when we do things for the first time, in most cases, things don't always go as planned, right? And so this is where when we become too attached to the how, it can really start to get in the way and it can really start to cause a lot of self-doubt because we're too reliant on the how, because we're too reliant on how we believe something should work. So there's a fine line here where when we are building a business, and this is something that I'm continually coaching clients on, is that there certainly are aspects of the how that are very, very important, right? There are certain strategies when you're building a coaching business that you want to be implementing in your business, right? But at the same time, we have to be careful that we don't get overly attached to the how in a way that if for any reason the how doesn't work or the how doesn't produce the results maybe the first time out of the gate, how we want it to produce, that we don't get frustrated, that we don't allow that to overtake and to be stronger than the belief in being able to create the result that we want. So the most important part of this is being able to believe in your capacity, in your ability to create the business that you most desire, is to believe in the possibility of your ability to create that business. So this is a really, really important distinction, and it's a very fine line that I see happen with clients, and I would just say in the industry in general, is that when it comes to the strategy, we have to, yes, have strategy in our business, and we want to be intelligent about what we're doing in our business, but at the same time, our belief has to be stronger than the strategy. Our belief has to be stronger in our ability to create the results. And so that is truly why I focus on both in my programs and how I'm able to roll that out. And honestly, why I think my clients get such accelerated results in their business is because not only are we being really intentional with the strategy piece, and not only are we implementing the most intelligent, the most streamlined strategies that actually will move the needle in their business, but we're also cultivating that belief and we're stepping into that version, that after version on a consistent daily basis. And so even when you don't have the evidence, even when you aren't at the level you want to be yet in your business, even when you don't maybe have the revenue that you want to be doubling down. You want to be committing even more in those moments in your belief in your capacity to create those results, in your unconditional belief in yourself. Because there's one thing that I have learned for sure in now coaching so many clients through this process and helping so many clients build, grow, and scale their own businesses is that all of the strategies that are out there, all of the strategies that you may be implementing in your business, especially the strategies that I teach, I know will work, right? But it's that unconditional belief that will drive the decisions, that will drive your energy, that will drive your actions on a daily basis, that will ultimately end up creating the results that you want. So this is where I want you to really look at your current level of belief, look at your before model, look at your after model. Look at the differences between the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, the decisions, the results. And even if you don't have the evidence right now, even if your evidence is telling you, all the evidence is telling you that it's not possible, this is when you want to be cultivating that unconditional belief. This is where you want to be leaning in even more, where it's most important for you to be building and cultivating and stepping more fully into that belief. And I will tell you, if you're in a place where you are having a hard time building and cultivating that belief for yourself, it's vital that you're getting support. And so I mentioned earlier on in my intro, if you are ready to go to that next level, I would love to invite you to join us either in my mastermind program or my high-level mastermind program, no matter where you're at in your business, so that you can borrow my belief, so that we can really work on cultivating your belief on a daily basis, so that we can make sure that you're really implementing the strategies that are actually going to move the needle in your business. And so I want to end today's conversation with this. Are you committed to believing? Are you committed to believing unconditionally, or are you only operating from a place of condition? Have you only been believing when you see evidence? I want to give you permission for all of you listening to believe as hard as you want to believe. I want to give you permission to believe and to sit with your belief and build your belief and strengthen your belief every single day, because that's the most important thing. You know, my work, my contribution with the work that I do with my clients is about what's possible, is about human potential and being and helping my clients become examples of what is possible. Because when you live a conscious life and when you do the work to become the best version of yourself, to do your best work in the world, to make a massive impact, to be able to create a ripple effect with your work, that's going to require unconditional belief. And I want you to know that I believe in you. And I want to invite you, if you are ready, again, to go to this next level, now is the time, my friends. If you know you need support, if you know that what I've talked about today is really resonating with you, I want to encourage you to be a part of my next cohorts. We are going to dive deep into all of this. We are going to dive deep into your identity, into your self-concept, and build your unconditional belief and shift into that. That is one of my specialties. It's one of the things that I love most in working with my clients so that you can go out and do your good work in the world. All right, we are going to build your unconditional belief. That is my promise. And we will go deep into all of that and implement all of the strategies and all of the things that you need in order to make this quantum leap in your business. All right, my friends, have a beautiful, amazing week. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Life Coach Business Podcast. If you want to learn more about how to build, grow, and scale your business and accelerate your results, visit amandakarlstadcoaching.com.